Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Ganganasadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. This work that we are going to talk about is one of the most sacred dialogues because it happens between two enlightened beings. One is Ashtavakra, the other is King Janaka, which was Ashtavakra's disciple. So in it you will have a glimpse of the instruction of an enlightened being so that you can achieve liberation, and also the vision of how a liberated being stands, acts, what is his experience. So pay attention to these teachings, fill your heart with surrender, devotion, sacredness, because that is the way to enjoy it the most. May it blossom in your heart. May you also find liberation. Moving on, Ashtavakra Samhita, chapter 18th, verse 63. Continuing on the subject of peace. So Ashtavakra says, the consciousness of the deluded one is always attached to thinking and non-thinking. But the consciousness of the wise one, though attended with thinking the thinkable, is of the nature of unconsciousness. So the consciousness of the deluded one is either attached to the thoughts or to no thinking whatsoever. But the difference with the wise one is that the wise one knows that the objects of thoughts, they are unreal. He has transcended everything. So the consciousness of the wise one, though attended with thinking the thinkable, whatever comes naturally, is of the nature of unconsciousness, because it's like he is not aware of them, because he's rooted in oneness. The wise one, who has no motive in all his actions, who moves like a child and is pure, has no attachment even to the work that is being done by him. So the wise one who has no motive in all his actions, he has transcended bodily identification, ego is no longer present, so there's no motive. He has reached the end of his journey. So the actions that are observable, they pertain to the body. And he has no motives associated with those actions. Who moves like a child and is pure. Who sports in a playful manner like a child. Has no attachment even to the work that is being done by him, by the body. Others call him the body. He doesn't. Blessed indeed is that knower of the self, who has transcended the mind, and who, even though seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, or eating is the same under all conditions. Yes, blessed indeed is that one who has transcended the mind, who has realized the self, and that is through blessing alone. And for that one, it doesn't make the difference what the body is doing. If it is seeing, touching, smelling, eating, he is the same under all conditions. He has transcended all human limitations. Where is the world and where its appearance? Where is the end and where the means? For the wise one who is ever changeless like the firmament. So where is the world and where is its appearance of the world? The wise one doesn't see it. Where is the end of that world and where are the means for that end? The practice for liberation. He doesn't need them also. For the wise one who is ever changeless like the firmament. He doesn't need them anymore, has reached the final goal. Glorious is he who is free from all desires, who is the perfect embodiment of bliss, which is his own nature and who is spontaneously absorbed in the unconditioned self. Yes, glorious indeed. I will repeat again. Glorious is he who is free from all desires. This is the enlightened one. Who is the perfect embodiment of bliss, which is his own nature, and who is spontaneously absorbed in the unconditioned self. In short, the great soul one who has realized the truth is free from the desire for enjoyment and liberation, and is devoid of all attachment at all times in all places. So the great soul one who has realized the truth, who is absorbed in his own blissful nature, is free from desire, has purged all desires for enjoyment and liberation, because he has achieved them already, and is devoid of all attachment at all times in all places. That's the awakened one's reality. What remains to be done by one who is pure consciousness? He has renounced phenomenal existence, which begins with Mahat and is manifested through mere name, because the world is illusory. He has renounced the phenomenal world. This is very important because this is a means to liberation. What remains to be done by the one who is pure consciousness? Nothing anymore. He has renounced phenomenal existence, which is just mere illusion. The pure one knows for certain that this universe is a product of illusion and that nothing exists. The imperceptible self is revealed to him and he naturally enjoys peace. So the pure one knows for certain he has reached the highest level of purity, so he's pure. Knows for certain that this universe is the product of illusion and nothing exists, because he has realized the self and with it the nature of apparent existence, which is non-existence. The imperceptible self is revealed to him and he naturally enjoys peace. When purity is achieved, the imperceptible self is revealed to him, not before, and he naturally enjoys peace, because that is his natural state, is nature. Rule of conduct, dispassion, renunciation, and restraint of the senses. What are all these to one who is of the nature of pure effulgence, and who does not perceive any objective reality? So all these rules of conduct, dispassion, renunciation, and restraint of the senses, this is for the seeker for liberation, the one who is still in duality, the one who has established himself in oneness, doesn't need any of these. Where is bondage or liberation, joy or sorrow? For one who shines as the infinite and does not perceive relative existence. So the one who has rooted himself in oneness bears no more concepts of duality. So there's no bondage nor liberation, joy or sorrow, because he is the infinite. He is no longer the body. He is no longer under illusion. He does not perceive any relative existence. Only the illusion of the world prevails. The reality of the world vanishes with the knowledge of the self. The wise one lives without the feeling of I-ness and mine-ness and attachment. So with the realization of the self, only the illusion of the world prevails, as is still being seen, as the body is still there, as the prarabdha karma is still working. He is still aware of the world, but as an illusion. So only the illusion prevails. The reality of the world vanishes with the knowledge of the self. The wise one lives without the feeling of I-ness and mine-ness and attachment, because he is no longer the body. No sense of egoism is in him. He is fullness, wholeness. To the wise one who perceives the self as the imperishable and free from grief, where is knowledge and where is the universe? Where is the feeling I am the body and the body is mine? So knowledge and universe, they all disappear. Its reality disappears. To the one who perceives the self, and with it, the sense of egoism, the sense of mine and the body. So all this disappears to the wise one who realizes the self. No sooner does the man of dull intellect give up such practices as mind control, than he becomes a prey to desire and fancies. So this is very important verse, and a very clear one that clearly has been misinterpreted. So no sooner, this doesn't mean that those practices are of no use. It means that they need to be kept until liberation or guidance otherwise, because no sooner does the man of dull intellect, the one that hasn't purified completely his intellect, give up such practices as mind control, then he becomes again a prey to desires and fancies. So there was that verse about the tigers of the sense objects, that the seeker would go into the cave and resort to practices of self-control because he was fearful of those objects. And I've explained the fall of vibration and then the closing up oneself, so that vibration rises again. So this is the same. As these practices of self-control, they are ended without complete purification of the mind. How do you know when the mind gets fully purified? When you realize the self and you get established in it. he becomes a prey again to desires and fancies. Because vibration falls down, it has been supported like artificially by those practices, and it is a need. So understanding that, stopping those practices make you fall down again immediately. So they must be kept until complete purification of the mind. Even hearing the truth, the man of dull intellect does not give up his delusion. Though through suppression he appears devoid of mental activity, a craving for sense objects lurks within him. Yes. Even hearing the truth, the man of dull intellect does not give up his delusion. Because mind is not purified yet. The intellect is dull, it's not pure. So if it's not pure, listening of the truth will not make much of a difference. It's not that it is in a sense, he does not give up his illusion. In a sense, it is like this. Though through suppression, he appears devoid of mental activity. A craving for sense objects lurks within him. So this is a continuation of the prior one. And understanding that without full purification of the intellect, realization of the self is not possible. And that silence that you have, it's a fruit of suppression, and it is a need to keep it that way. But don't be fooled by it, because deeply within, the craving for sense objects lurks, waits. So if you release these practices of self-control and meditation, they come back again immediately. So this needs to continue until the full purification of the intellect, not prior to that. He whose work has ceased with the dawn of knowledge does not find an opportunity to do or say anything, even though in ordinary people's eyes he is doing work. So with self-realization comes the end of all work, because it comes the end of identification with the body, with a story, with purpose. Everything ends. So he does not find an opportunity to do or say anything. He is not the body anymore. Even though in ordinary people's eyes, he is doing work, because they are mistaking the body with him. But he is not the body anymore. For the wise one, who is ever immutable and fearless, where is there darkness, where light? Where, moreover, is there any loss? There is nothing whatsoever. So no duality is there for the one who has established himself in oneness. All the phenomenal world disappears in its existence and becomes an illusion of the nature of non-existence. So no dualities for the wise one, the one that knows the self. Where is patience? Where is discrimination? And where even is fearlessness for the yogin who is impersonal, of indescribable nature? So this is the reality of the one who has realized the self. So by observing the body, you will not understand. The body may appear to be nice, may appear to be rough, may appear to be pleased, may appear to be smiling, may appear to be mad, may appear to be growling. It doesn't matter. The reality of the one who has realized the self is impersonal, of an indescribable nature, because what can be described is not above the mind, is only at the level of the mind and downwards to the body. That's what can be described. What's beyond the mind cannot be described. And that's the nature of the one who has realized the self. There is no heaven, and there is no hell. There is not even liberation in life. In short, nothing exists in yogic consciousness. There's just totality. This is the ultimate truth. Some pick this verse and say, so no spiritual practices are needed because there is no liberation in life, there's no liberation, there nothing is. Nothing exists. Yes, it is true, but interpretation is false. Either nothing exists, or it apparently exists and needs to be transcended. But separating worldly life from spiritual life and saying that spiritual life there's no need and maintaining worldly life, that is just self-deception. Okay.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.